Hi friends, how are you all? So in this lecture, we will be discussing about national income measurement. Okay, so national income, two parts, right? National means belonging to the nation. Income means earnings. Okay, so when we consider a single person, you will be receiving many forms of income, right? Should we consider all of this income? Let's see. In this regard, there are two types of income. Factor versus transfer income. Okay. Factor income and transfer income. See, I have told you there are four factors of production. Land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. And in return for each of these factors, there is a payment or remuneration. For land, it will be rent, labor, wages or salary, capital, it will be interest, and entrepreneurship, it will be profit. So these incomes which are supplied in return of factor services, okay, factor services, and such incomes are called factor income. They are two-way. One person is supplying something and in return he is receiving this factor income. But there may be other forms of income as well. For instance, you may receive some scholarship and the government usually pays unemployment allowances. There are also one sort of income called old age pensions. Such incomes are not paid in return for factor services. When you receive scholarship, you are not going to give a factor service in return. Okay, such income, they are unilateral in nature. And such incomes are called transfer incomes. They are actually unilateral incomes. Okay, and in national income, we are including only factor income and not transfer income. Okay, why? Because national income is actually a measure of the country's output, and in that, if we include transfer income, it will not be appropriate. So this is about factor income and transfer income. We only include factor income while computing national income. Okay. Now, for measuring national income, we know three golden rules. What are those? Gross is equal to net plus depreciation. Okay, BP dot. Any gross aggregate will be equal to the corresponding net aggregate plus depreciation, and national is equal to domestic plus NFIA. Any national aggregate will be equal to the corresponding domestic aggregate plus national income, means NFIA. Sorry. Any market price aggregate will be equal to the factor cost aggregate plus net indirect taxes, or factor cost plus indirect taxes minus subsidy. NIT equal to indirect taxes minus subsidy. And okay, now let us go to the methods of measuring national income. See, before this, we have studied one concept called the circular flow of income. The households are supplying factor services. The firms undertake production using these factor services. They generate and pay the household factor incomes. With these factor incomes, the household undertake expenditure. Right. This is the flow of income. In this stage, first the factor services are rendered and firms undertake production. The production is the first phase. Okay, production phase. Then income is generated in this process and is distributed to households in the form of factor income. Right. And finally the expenditure stage, when the households undertake or incur expenditures. generally all these three will be equal. So if we are measuring any one of them, we will be getting national income. So these are the three approaches we have to measure national income. Now, first approach is production approach or production method. Under production method, what we do is we see how much production is done. For this, we divide all the production units into three sectors. Okay, first primary, secondary, and tertiary sector. First is the primary sector. What they actually do is they directly exploit nature and harness output out of nature. Okay. And it includes agriculture, forestry, and such other things. So they are not consuming much inputs in order for production. Okay. So primary sector will actually give value. The value of their output will be the value of their production. Now, generally according to economic theory, value gets added to the product at each stage of production. Okay, so value gets added at each stage of production. Just remember that. Now, after the primary sector, we get the secondary sector. Generally, the primary sector does not incur any input cost. We are assuming because agriculture, okay, he will invest in seeds and all such things, but the product produced will be the first produce. The secondary sector consists of manufacturing entities. They take the output of the primary sector and they undertake further production and they arrive at an final output. So, the secondary sector is consisting of manufacturing entities. Now, take an example. Industry is producing an output for rupees 25,000, selling at the market for rupees 25,000. Okay. However, the industry has purchased rupees 10,000 worth inputs from primary sector. Should we include the whole 25,000 or only the net difference of 15,000? Think of it. If we are including the 25,000, this 10,000 is getting included twice in national income, which will never happen, which should never happen. So, we include only this value added or the GVA, gross value added. Gross value added is equal to value of output minus intermediate consumption. Whatever output is produced minus whatever inputs are consumed will give this gross value added. Now, if we do not know the gross value of output, there is another formula for that. Value of output will be equal to sales plus change in stock. Okay, so GVA will be equal to sales plus change in stock minus intermediate consumption. You will be knowing in accounts, right? Profit will be equal to, in credit side we will be writing the P&L account, in the credit side we will be writing sales closing stock. In the debit side we will write opening stock purchases. Sales plus changing stock means closing stock minus opening stock minus purchases will and other input will give profit. Okay, so that will be the gross value added. And we compute the gross value added by industrial sector. After this, there's another sector called the tertiary sector. This will basically include the service entities. Okay, like transport, communication, and trade, commerce, all such things. These entities also will have value of output and intermediate consumption. So all these values together will give the gross domestic product at market price. It will give the GDP MP. However, we want to get to NNP FC. So from this first we minus depreciation. Then we minus NIT. We will get NDPFC, right? Adding NFIA, we are using only the golden rules. N is equal to D plus NFIA, so which will be NNPFC or national income. So adding the gross value added by each sector will give GDP MP minus depreciation minus NIT plus NFIA will give national income of the country. Now, there's another bit. What if we do not consider each and every sector and gross value added? We just add up the final product. That will also give the same result of GDP MP, and after that we will do these computations. So either we can take the value added by each sector or we can add the final product also. Production method can also be called the final product method. The second phase will be income method. Okay, in income method, we do not consider like rent, interest and all. We are considering the form of employment, the way the person is receiving income. The person can be employed as a worker under some other person. If that is the case, the compensation of such people will be treated as compensation of employees or COE, which will include wages, salaries, cash on kind and all other such things, bonus, all other such things. Now, what if the person is self-employed, means not self-employed, is undertaking the production or doing entrepreneurship, then such things will be treated as operating surplus, which will include rent, royalty, interest, profit. Okay, rent, royalty, interest and profit. And if the person is self-employed, he is himself working in his business enterprise. Such people's income cannot be classified into these categories. So this will be treated as mixed income. Okay, mixed income. The sum of all these will give NDPFC. Okay, net domestic product at factor cost. From this we add NFIA to get NNPFC. Okay, this is the second method of measuring national income. COE plus OS plus MI will give NDPFC plus NFIA will give national income. The third method is expenditure method. Okay, in this we consider all the expenditure. Whatever consumption expenditures are undertaken by the households will be treated as private final consumption expenditure or PFCE. Then we get the government final consumption expenditure. The government will also incur expenditure on goods and services in order to provide public amenities. So such expenditures will be treated as government final consumption expenditure. After this, we add gross domestic capital formation. Okay. What is this GDCF? This includes two parts: gross domestic fixed capital formation plus change in stock or inventory change. So what gross domestic capital formation will include whatever asset values are added to the country's capital stock during the particular period. Okay, so that will include addition of fixed capital as well as addition of inventory. Okay, you know the change in stock will be closing stock minus opening stock. With this, we add plus net exports NE or X minus M. Okay, net export means whatever the goods are exported to other countries minus whatever is imported will give net exports. The total of all this will give GDP at market price. Okay, this will also give GDP at market price. From GDP at market price, you know the computation. Minus depreciation minus NIT plus NFIA will give NNPFC. Okay, this will be national income, private final consumption expenditure plus government final consumption expenditure plus gross domestic capital formation plus net exports, or private final consumption expenditure plus government final consumption expenditure plus gross domestic fixed capital formation plus change in stock plus net exports, or private final consumption expenditure plus government final consumption expenditure plus gross domestic fixed capital formation plus net change in stock plus exports minus imports will give GDP MP. So this will be the three methods of measurement. Whatever method you use, the value of national income will be same. Now, the national income can belong to government sector or private sector. Here we get a concept of private income. Okay, now when we are taking private income, this will include from domestic income coming to private sector or national income coming to private sector. Income from domestic product to private sector plus the current transfers from government. We are taking as transfer income also because it is income. This is not production, this is income. Current transfers from government plus government will have to pay public on interest on whatever loan it has taken, which will be national debt interest plus any transfer from out of the world will give private income. Private income. Okay. NCT ROW will be net current transfer from rest of the world. Okay. So income from domestic product accruing to private sector plus current transfers from government plus national debt interest plus net current transfer from rest of the world will give private income. This topic is not that important, but I am just telling you. Now, if you are excluding every income or every savings and other things of the corporations, business entities, say minus corporate undistributed profit. Whatever profit is distributed to the shareholders or owners will not be taken here. Undistributed profit or retained earnings of corporation minus corporate tax will give the income of individuals, personal income. Okay, this will give personal income. Now, personal income also has few other parameters or components. If we are taking minus individual tax minus miscellaneous payments to government agents, departments. Okay, to GOVT. This will give an important measure called personal disposable income, PDY. So this will be private income, personal income and personal disposable income. Okay. So in the next lecture, that is more important, we will discuss on computational problems, how to compute all these aggregates. So now let's take a quick recap. Okay. First we learned the difference between factor income and transfer income. Only factor incomes will be included in national income. Then we discussed the three methods of measuring national income: production method, income method and expenditure method. And we discussed a few post-national income aggregates called private income, personal disposable income. So this will be for this third lecture in macroeconomics. We will start our problematic portions in the next lecture. So till then, stay safe. Bye bye.